Many of us spend a great deal of time, energy, and our resources trying to get business in this confusing economy, trying to get our employees to do more and be happier doing it, and trying to get our customers to choose us every time. And sometimes the answer is closer, or even more simple than it may appear. Which reminds me of a story about a man, a kid, and a vacuum store. The store, like the town it sits in, is tucked in that tenuous place between this fast-approaching future and the way things used to be, when kids used to roam around all day until dark, unsupervised. And now I can be in another state and monitor every move my child makes by the pings off of cell tower babysitters, where people used to dress up to travel, and now they show up in the airport in their pajamas. People used to cherish their privacy, even within the walls of their own home. And now a breakup on Facebook will get more views than my local newspaper, where I can be anywhere at any given moment and with one touch of my thumbprint on my phone order almost anything and have it shipped directly to my house, and it will often get there before I do. Where I can have 5,000 friends on Facebook all poking me to wave and say hey, and yet nobody to go out to dinner with on Tuesday. So it's here, tucked between this world we never saw coming and the world we'll never see again, that you'll find Cash's vacuums, sales, and service. It's in a strip mall, between the Diamond Nail and the #1 Chinese buffet. It's in a town much like any you've ever driven through, too small to be one you've heard of, but too big to be considered quaint. The yellow lines on the parking lot out front have faded away completely into a parking lot honor system. And you could be driving by that strip mall and look right at it and still not even see it. Kind of like a faded housewife who's been married to the wrong man. Cash is the owner of the store, GM, sole proprietor, chief sidewalk sweeper. Most of his business education he got over a fishing rod or in lectures on pipe-scented front porches with classrooms of crickets. Unlike me, Cash is a man of few words and not too proud to make his living selling vacuums. Several years ago, Cash hired this kid right out of college to help him run the store. I mean, he was getting older. It just made sense. The kid was cocky, obnoxious, convinced he was going to be rich, ready to take on the world that he hadn't even seen yet. Not the perfect choice, but, well, neither of them had many options at the time. And the way Cash saw it, well, this kid would give him a different perspective, being a millennial and all. He would represent the new market. So I guess you could say he was their hope for the future and fear of it, all rolled into a pair of khakis and a man bun that they did not hold against him. Man Bun was a hard worker, I'll give you that. He did everything Cash asked him to do. But the customers could tell, even without him saying anything, that the kid didn't want to be there. His heart wasn't in it. I mean, you can have all the best customer service tips in the world, and, what good does it do if your people don't want to be there and don't believe in what they're doing? You see, the kid was convinced that he was going to run his own empire one day, and this vacuum store was not part of his plan. He saw Cash as simple, old school, one of the little guys. And Man Bun, he was going to run with the big guys. He was always giving advice disguised as questions. Questions that would start like, "Hey, Cash!" "Yeah, kid? How come you don't have a website? Everybody's got a website. How can you do business without a website?" "Don't need one," said Cash. "Hey, Cash!" "Yeah, kid? Haven't you ever thought of moving into a bigger space? Maybe a better part of town, up your clientele a little bit." "Hey, Cash, how come you don't have an app? Everybody's got an app. You got to get with the times. At this rate, you're going to be out of business within the year. You got to keep up with the big guys, Cash." And Cash would always answer, "Not trying to keep up. We got something they don't." Man Bun did not understand this at all. "How's that?" he asked. "Kid," said Cash, "if you gotta ask, you won't understand." Despite Man Bun's prophecies of doom, the bell over the door continued to ring every day. So much so that eventually it took its toll on old Cash. It was time for the kid to pull some more weight around here. "Kid," he said, "I'm going to start taking some time off in the afternoons. Need you to pick up the slack." "Sure, Cash. You got it. Piece of cake." How hard could this be? But as it turns out, it wasn't a piece of cake. You see, Cash's job wasn't as simple as it seemed on the surface. The job description itself, that wasn't rocket science. It was all this other little stuff. Like, did you know that Cash will carry out everybody's purchase to their car? Every steam vac, even if it's just a small part, he'll help you carry it out. Who does that? Cash. One guy said that Cash drove his vacuum cleaner to deliver it to his mother's house. She didn't even live in town. And it was after hours, delivered it in time for her birthday party, even stayed and had cake. And he didn't even know him. Who does that? Cash. Mrs. DeWitt called, spent 30 minutes on the phone, letting him know the sound her vacuum cleaner was making, that sound. Not the same sound, she said, that it made last month when the vacuum cleaner sucked up her favorite thong. All she could talk about was how patient Cash was when he drove over to help her get it out. "It was my favorite one," she said. Mr. Engel said he's been coming here for 20 years. Said he wouldn't think of going anywhere else, and he didn't even live in town. And when Man Bun asked him why, he said, "Easy." He said, "When I come here, everybody treats me like I'm the only one in the room that matters. Cash doesn't make me feel old." He winked and shook his cane. It was like that with every person who came into the store. They each had a story about something that Cash or somebody else in the store had done that made a difference. Even the ones who were strangers coming in for the first time were coming in because of what somebody else told them. Somebody else's story. After about a week of this, Man Bun started to realize that it wasn't vacuums that were bringing people in. It was this stuff. All of a sudden, Cash didn't look so stupid anymore. "Dude," he asked, "how do you do it? Like these people, they love you, Cash. You could triple your prices and they'd probably still keep coming back. And without an app or a website or even lines in the parking lot. What's your secret?" Easy, said Cash. Well, not easy. Not always, but simple. He said, I got 2 business philosophies. Handed down to me by my father, handed down to him by his. He said, number 1, everybody's got a story. Your customer, your co-worker, your neighbor. Everybody's got a story. Show them you care about their story, and they'll keep coming back. Number 2, always do one better, and that will become your story. And they will go out there and tell everyone they know. Kid, I know you want to run with the big guys. I get it. But let me tell you something that those big guys out there often forget. The little guy. And here at my store, we all take the time to see that little guy. Those stores out there, they may have the big walls, but we have the big hearts. And that holds more weight, kid. That's how I kick the big guy's butt. Every time. In fact, the way I see it, makes me the big guy. Don't ever forget, kid, those big sales out there, they come in small moments. You want to play big? Then learn how to play small. And the fastest way into their heart is through their story. And so, from a job he didn't want, and a boss he thought was stupid, that kid learned a lesson worth more than all his college tuition combined. 2 philosophies that will serve him well, no matter where he ends up. Oh, and by the way, if you ever get out there, go buy Cash's Vacuums, Service and Supplies. And find the guy in the Man Bun. I promise he has time to hear your story. Just a simple story about a vacuum store teaches me, or reminds me, that at the end of the day, no matter how virtual or technological we get, the answer to standing out in a crowded market, getting the attention of our buyer, getting our employees to do more and to be happier doing it, and getting our customers to choose us every time, is all found in our ability to connect. In those small moments, connection is key. Story is our secret weapon. It's the story that has brought you this far, and it'll be the story that takes you home.